The North London Derby is on tomorrow. Spurs is hosting Arsenal at their new White Lane Stadium, where Arsenal has gone ahead to really spend close, are they 9 years or 8 years without winning? In the previous games they've played, Arsenal haven't gone ahead to really get a result that is really positive at the new White Lane Stadium. And that shows you that it's not always an easy fixture. And it's vice versa. Even Spurs, when they go to Emirates, they know that they're going to go 100% and really lose there, because even in their recent fixture of the season, they are beaten by 3-1 by Arsenal. Thomas Partey, Granit Xhaka and Gabriel Jesus are the ones that really scored those 3 goals, and then Harry Kane scored a penalty after Gabriel Magalhaes went ahead to foul Richarlison in the Tina's box area of Arsenal. So welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. It's really the North London Derby. The fever is everywhere. Arsenal fans know it very well that if they really win this game of football, and United lose today because United is playing Man City today, and Man City lose today, they will be 8 points clear. If at all they lose to Spurs and Man City beats Manchester United, they would have reduced those points to 2. Yet Arsenal are really having a very busy fixture, because after playing Tottenham Hotspur, they are hosting Manchester United at the Emirates next weekend. So that is how tough the fixture of Arsenal is. And on the 27th, they are going to be playing a side known as Man City, meaning that they are playing Spurs this weekend. Next weekend they are playing Manchester United, and the weekend after next weekend they are playing Man City. It's really going to be a very hectic fixture, and if at all you are really soft, weak-hearted, you are not going to go ahead and really win these games. But Mikel Arteta is confident with his team. He knows, however much they don't have Gabriel Jesus, they have gotten a goal poacher in the names of Eddie Nketiah, who has gone ahead to score 4 goals in the last 4 appearances made for Arsenal. He scored against West Ham, he scored against Brighton, and he scored a brace against Oxford. 4 games, 4 goals. I think that's a very huge output for a man who has not been getting enough playing time for a side known as Arsenal. Now let's go to the players that we don't expect to play for these teams. For Arsenal, it's Jesus and Reece Nelson. Those 2 are really out. They're out of the game. But for Bukayo Saka, he limped off the pitch in the game of Oxford. The manager told us that he's fine and is available to participate into the North London Derby. And obviously, we go to Spurs. They are having a very huge list, because if you're not having Richarlison, you are not having Bentancur, you are not having there is this other guy. It's Bentancur, Richarlison. There is a third player that is really out, and Lucas Moura. Those 3 are really out of the North London Derby. They are not going to play a single minute into this. But Yefis Bissouma is available, and the biggest boost for Spurs is Kulusevski. Kulusevski gives them balance of the right attacking side of the midfield. And I think Mikel Arteta would go out and really say, all right, I made a very bad decision for not bringing Kulusevski, because Arsenal, we are looking at Kulusevski in the January of 2022, but they never signed him from Juventus. Yet he was available on loan with an option to buy, but Arsenal never went in for him. But the man came in at Spurs and single-handedly lifted Spurs to the 4th place. So Kulusevski really is a very big addition to this game of Spurs, and I think the rest of the players 100% are available. So for Arsenal, I've told you those that are really not available, but let's wait and see how Spurs is going to go ahead and really come up and do the needful. But one thing I want to let you know is that Harry Kane is the highest scorer in all the North London in the North London Derby. He has 15 goals, and when you add all the goals that scored against teams coming in from London, I think they sum up to 40. Meaning that if at all he scores tomorrow against Arsenal, he would have gone ahead to score his 15th goal in this North London Derby. It shows you how much he has gone ahead to single-handedly get this under his foot to see to it that he scores goals. And Arsenal should look a lot onto this guy known as Harry Kane. Now, let's go to the predicted starting 11 of Arsenal as me and my team came up with it, because it looks like this is one of the things that people like a lot and they ask me a lot about it. Let's get into the system. Arsenal play with a 4-3-3 system. You know that very well. The manager Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to change it every other game. Ever since we came in from the World Cup, he has been playing with a 4-3-3. That is the manager Mikel Arteta. Let's go to the pitch and see how these players are going to be demarcated at a side of Arsenal. But remember, when they're playing Oxford, very many players were rested. Matt Turner started in goal. That means Ramsdale was rested. Tomiyasu started on the right back. That means Ben White was rested. Central defense, it was Gabriel Magalhaes and Rob Holding. Saliba was rested. Kientian played as a left back. Zinchenko was rested, though he later came on through. Lokonga, El Nini, Fabio Vieira played. That means Xhaka, Partey, and Odegaard were rested. But later, Xhaka came on through and really did a very good work into that midfield area for Sambi Albert Lokonga. Then the front three, it was Nketiah, Bukayo Saka, and Martinelli. That was unchanged. So let's see how the manager is going to go in and really do the needful in this game. So that means Arsenal is welcoming back Ramsdale in goal to play into that position of the goalkeeping department. In between the stitches is going to be Aaron Ramsdale. Very good player, very good goalkeeper that has gone ahead to revolutionize that goalkeeping department of Arsenal, because Bernard Leno had no trust from the manager of Arsenal. He had no trust from the manager of Arsenal, and obviously he sold him and then he brought in Aaron Ramsdale. For the second season running, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, and every time Arsenal calls in for him, this guy is always available. Though he really had some sloppy mistake in the game of Newcastle, but I believe those are common, because even in the midweek, is it the midweek? Was it in the midweek when we played, I think over the weekend, you saw how David De Gea gifted a goal to a player called Conor Cody when the ball really danced in his legs and it found Conor Cody, and Conor Cody did a tap into the back of the net. Even after that, you saw a player called Guedes score a goal against Liverpool when Alisson gave him a ball and he really tapped in the back of the net. So it shows you that these mistakes are really common, but provided they are not continuous, they have no problem to me. And one thing I will call for is that these mistakes are just one in a season. And I don't believe that Ramsey is going to go ahead and really do that mistake that he really did that would have costed Arsenal 3 points in the game of Newcastle. After that, Tomiyasu played the right back in the game of Oxford, but they're welcoming back Ben White. To me, he's really playing very well. He's in the best form of his life and he's doing a very wonderful job for Arsenal, and I believe he's really going to be playing off that side where Son Heung-min utilizes that place a lot, meaning that he needs to go ahead and really block him. But we've seen him face some of the toughest left wide forwards in the Premier League, but he's going ahead to win the battles, and I believe he's going to win this battle of a player called or known as Son Heung-min. On the left, obviously it was Kientieni, but remember, this is the first choice left back of Arsenal. Zinchenko returns to play onto that position because he gives them balance. The reason as to why these two are played by Mikel Arteta is simple. He likes the balance they give him. They're like the wide references because they are so good and comfortable on the ball, and their passing is really out of this world. So that's why he likes them a lot, and they give Arsenal a lot of possession, best game of football. That's why Mikel Arteta plays them in his full-back positions. Let's go to the central defense. Obviously, Saliba is returning for Arsenal, playing on the right side of the central defense, rested. He never played a single minute in the game of Oxford. That means he's fully fit and is going to play into this North London derby, and is going to play his first North London derby away from Emirates. The first one, he really played very well. This one, he has to go on and really show us that he's no longer rusty as he was on the 2 games they played against West Ham and Brighton, because in those 2 games, he was responsible for the goals that Arsenal conceded. But this time around, I believe he's back to the Saliba we know, because I saw him in the game of Newcastle. He really played very well and never put a foot wrong, meaning he is really ready to take on a side known as Spurs and stop the likes of Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. On the left side of the central defense, obviously it's Gabriel Magalhaes. This guy is a machine. He's not been appreciated by very many people at Arsenal, but I believe he deserves credit, all more credit than the one they give Saliba, because he does everything. He does the clean and dirty work. Saliba doesn't do a lot of the dirty work, but his game reading and ball possessing technique is really out of this world. But those two are really going to be having a very huge task tomorrow of stopping Harry Kane. Harry Kane is on fire. This season, he has gone ahead to score, is it 16 Premier League goals? Let me be exact. Harry Kane, where are you? Harry Kane, 29 years of age, he has gone ahead to score 15 goals in the Premier League. And leave alone that, he has also gone ahead to really put in, is it one assist? I believe he has more assists. 18 games, 15 goals. That's really ridiculous for Harry Kane, meaning that we are left with how many games to go? He's left with 21 games, 20 games to go, and if at all he has scored 15, that means he can go ahead and really double that figure. And you know what Harry Kane does? Every time we enter the month of February and March, he can even average 15 goals in the Premier League, meaning that he can even go ahead and really score 30. He's the man next to Haaland. Haaland has scored 7 more goals than Harry Kane, and let's wait and see how this is going to end. But those two central defenders are responsible for the player called Harry Kane. So that's the back four of Arsenal, and let's go to the midfield. Mr. Reliable, Mr. Controlling the game, Mr. Getting the ball from the back four and pass it in front with quality. That is Thomas Partey, obviously playing the single pivot of the Arsenal side. You know, it takes long to build a team, and every time you get the right player to play to that right position, you really go ahead and really feel the comfort. That's it. Arsenal fans are really comfortable with Thomas Partey playing to that position, and obviously he's one of the best central defensive midfielders in the Premier League. They are into a battle of Casemiro, Partey, and Rodri, who is the best, and I believe stats are really indicating that Casemiro is the best midfielder in the Premier League, but that does not downplay the efforts of Thomas Partey and Rodri, because Thomas Partey does a lot for Arsenal. One, he protects the back four. Secondly, every time these fullbacks really travel or really proceed and make progressive runs, he watches on which fullback has really gone far, and then he watches on his space to see to it that they don't use that tunnel, to see to it that they really counter-attack their team. And look at Spurs, that is their game of football. Spurs doesn't use the midfield. Let no one lie to you. They don't play the game of football using the midfield. Every time they get the ball in the midfield, they spread it diagonally, all in the wide areas of the pitch. That's it. To find the likes of Kulusevski or Son Heung-min, and they use that pace and counter-attacking style of play to see to it that they really haunt their opponents. So, Thomas Partey in that area, he has to go ahead and really tussle it out with the FS Besuma and Hojberg to see to it that he really wins that battle. And I think he's going to win it because he's better than them. He's one of the best single pivot players in the Premier League. Obviously, he has the quality, he has proven it over time, and no one doubts the abilities of Thomas Partey coming in from Ghana, and he has gone ahead to score 2 goals. Remember, in the first game they played at Emirates, he scored a very beautiful goal that was a color that really went to the back of the net. He went ahead to score the same goal against Nottingham Forest, so you never know, he might pull out the same magic and pull the trigger or pull the color to see to it that he dispatches it very well into the back of the net with precision. So that is Thomas Partey for you, playing into that area. Let's go to the other 2 midfielders that are going to play alongside him. This guy for me is really fantastic and fabulous. That is Martin Odegaard, winning his first award for the Premier League player for the month of November versus all December. This guy is really great, and I really like the way he does his stuff game in, game out, and he's really one of a kind that you will always come and admire and really make you believe that the game of football is easy. He has gone ahead to score very many goals ever since Arsenal played the last game of the World Cup, that was against Wolverhampton Wanderers. He scored a brace. He came in the game of West Ham, he created 2 goals. He scored a goal against Brighton and created 1. Those are 4 games he has gone ahead to play ever since. He has played 3 games ever since return from the World Cup, and he has gone ahead to score 2 goals and create 3 goals. That is Odegaard for you. So I believe he's really going to be important in this game because the way he really does his work in the midfield is out of this world, and very few people understand what he does. So that is Martin Odegaard for you, starting onto the left shoulder of Thomas Partey. On the right shoulder of Thomas Partey, it's going to be Xhaka, a man that has gone ahead to rewrite his history at Arsenal, from being the most hated player at Arsenal by the fans to turning into one of the most liked players by the fans at Arsenal. So he is going to play alongside Thomas Partey, and that's going to be the midfield three of Arsenal that is going to face a side known as Tottenham Hotspur. Let's go to the front three. Obviously, this is going not to change. Bukayo Saka available, though he limped off the field as we are playing Oxford. He's 100% available, and the other player that is going to play onto the left attacking side of the midfield or as a left forward is going to be Martinelli Gabriel, a man in the form of his life, and obviously Eddie Nketiah is going to lead the line for side known as Arsenal. So that is how Arsenal is going to stand for me, and that's how I believe the manager is going to bring his team. So without Jesus, they are really looking great, but the only problem Arsenal are really having is what do they get from the bench? This time around, I believe they are blessed that a player called Emile Smith-Rowe is available, because he can come out and really give Arsenal something different off the bench. I believe he can change this game from the bench. He can, with Fabio Vieira registering 2 assists against Oxford. That is really a very big push and a confidence booster in the Portuguese egg, to see to it that he comes in this game and really shines and really see himself into the levels of being one of those players that are really going to be useful in this derby. And I think Mikel Arteta is having some 2 players that have impressed him in the previous one game to come out and really rely on as far as this game of football is concerned. Now let's get to this. That is the head-to-head. Arsenal and Tottenham have played 61 games in between them. Those are Premier League games. Spurs have won 15. Arsenal have won 23. 77 goals scored by Tottenham. Arsenal have scored 98. Spurs have kept 11 clean sheets, and Arsenal have gone ahead to keep 14 clean sheets. It shows you how close this derby is always at. So it shows you the pressure, the adrenaline is high, and obviously every manager would love to go ahead and really win this game of football, but Mikel Arteta knows how good he is as a manager, and Arsenal are really having an edge over a team known as Spurs. Because if at all you never knew, Arsenal are one of the best performing teams away from home, to an extent that they've kept very many clean sheets away from home than the ones they've kept at their stadium. The only games they've gone ahead to concede goals are that of Manchester United. They conceded 3-1. They conceded 1 against Southampton, and they conceded 2 against Brighton. That's it. But the rest of the games, they beat Crystal Palace 2-0, Bournemouth 3-0, Brentford 3-0, Leeds 1-0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-0. So they've played 8 games away and they've kept 5 clean sheets. That means, however much Spurs is really a high-scoring side, Arsenal has an edge. Spurs being a high-scoring side, it's also a high-conceding side, because most of the games, they've gone ahead to concede an average of 2 goals. That gives Arsenal an edge of really winning this game of football. I don't see Spurs scoring more than 1 against Arsenal. I don't see it. I believe they might go ahead and beat the score, and Arsenal might not keep a clean sheet away from home this time around. But I believe Arsenal is going to score like 2 or 3, because Spurs' defense is really porous. And with the absentia of a player known as Bentancur, who has been one of the best midfielders under the era of Antonio Conte, I believe that gives Arsenal a chance to go ahead and really score very many goals. With the fire that is in the front four of Arsenal, Odegaard, Nketiah, Saka, and Martinelli, I believe that 3-man central defense of Spurs needs to be on high alert to stop these players, because if at all they don't, they might get annihilated tomorrow, and it might be an emphatic loss that will haunt over them, and Conte might not see himself get back, because they've been experiencing losses. They are beaten. I think they are beaten by, there's a team that beat them. Was it Leeds? Leeds came at their place and beat them by 2-1. Then Brentford, they drew 2-2. The first game they played from the World Cup, they came from behind and won it 3-2. Before we went to the World Cup, they beat Fulham by 4-3, and all of those games they come from behind. I don't believe Arsenal is the kind of team that you're going to come with your team, allow them to go 2 goals ahead of you, and you come back and really score against them and really level the game or win it. Reason being, Arsenal are one of the best teams defensively. Mikel Arteta organized that defense very well. So I don't believe that Spurs are really going to survive this game of football, because Arsenal is really in an epic form. Unless otherwise, Spurs go ahead and really improve their defense of Christian Romero, is it Tanganga or Sanchez, with Eric Dyer. That defense, that back three, should do the needful to stop this guy, because if at all they don't, it might rain goals in the goal area of Spurs. And you know, Spurs' goalkeeper is not all that one of the elite ones that all of us can trust in goal. So there are lots of things I want us to take you through. Smash the like button, comment, and share. Remember, we hit 10,000 subscribers, and let's continue and see to it that we hit 20,000 subscribers. I know that's going to be possible, and I know by the end of this year we might be even in 100,000 subscribers, because you guys are really showing me mad love. You guys are really great, and I love you so much. So don't forget also to smash the like button to like 300 likes on this video as we get into this. Now we are having some head-to-head stats coming in from BBC that I thought are really important for you, especially you, the people that really keep watching this channel. I can't leave this preview before I really give you this, because it's really important to know and put it in your brain, because these stats always at an average of 60-70% repeat themselves, and they can paint a picture in your head to see who is who in this game of football. And first and foremost, BBC has told us that sorry about that, Tottenham are unbeaten in their past 8 Premier League home games against Arsenal. They've won 6 games against Arsenal and drawn 2. They've won their last 3 at home against the Gunners, but have never won 4 in a row in their league history. So that means even way back, they would go ahead and really win 3 in a row, but they've never won 4, meaning that gives Arsenal an edge. And this comes at a period when Arsenal is really a different team altogether, because I believe Arsenal last became a team that was really great, I think around 2012, 2013. But from 2014, 2015, Arsenal has been shaky, and Spurs was on the high. Remember, that's when Pochettino came in through and had the likes of Eriksson, Gareth Bale, he had Modric, he had Harry Kane, he had a lot of good players. Van der Vaart, very good players. Vertonghen, very good players that were Spurs, and you would know that the manager's gone ahead to really build a very good squad. You remember the likes of Dele Alli in their peak. Oh, they are really disastrous to go ahead and really hit every team. So by that time, Arsenal was on the decline and Spurs was on the high, to an extent that they even missed out on a Premier League trophy with just some few points. I think, was it City that won it? I think it was City that won it, and all Chelsea, one of those 2 teams. It was really great by then. But right now, I think it's the very first time ever since 2018 or 2014 that Spurs is playing an Arsenal team that is really elite and in the right shape, that is really competing for the league on top of the table. And if Arsenal doesn't win this game of football, I'm going to be shocked, because Spurs is really doing bad. Spurs is really doing bad. However much Kulusevski came in through, I don't give them a chance to win this game of football. Now, we've been told again by BBC that following their 3-1 win at Emirates Stadium in October, Arsenal are looking to complete their first league double over Spurs since 2013-2014, which was also their last away league victory at their North London rivals, meaning that Arsenal last got a win at the White Hart Lane in 2013-2014 season. That's it. Those are 8 fucking years. They are even 9. Those are 9 fucking years. That's when Arsenal last won, and they've never registered a double. They've always been winning at home most of the times at Emirates, but when they go to White Hart Lane, things are always different, meaning that this time around, it's going to be a different game of football together, and Arsenal know what to fight for. There is nothing to joke for in this game of football. Then we go to another one. Tottenham have scored more second half goals than any other Premier League side this season, 27, with these also accounting for a league high 73% of their total 27 out of 37. And this really plays in their disfavor. That has been happening to teams like Brentford, Fulham, and very many others. When they played against Manchester United, that plan never really worked out. You get? When they played against teams that are in their level, it doesn't work out, because when Arsenal goes 2 goals ahead of you, there is no way you're pulling it back. Each and every time you go ahead and really pull one back, they'll go ahead and really score, because Spurs is going to play a deep line. They are going to park a bus and hit Arsenal on the break. Now, if Arsenal goes ahead and scores fast, it's going to change the game plan of Antonio Conte, and Antonio Conte is going to open up. When he opens up, that means Arsenal will be having lots of pockets of space for players like Odegaard to really apply their technique of line-breaking passes in the lanes of Spurs. And you know how Nketiah is on form scoring. Saka and Martinelli, they'll find themselves on the score sheet several times. So I believe that start won't count on Arsenal. However much they've gone ahead to do that, they've been playing against teams with junky defenses, not the Arsenal side that I know. And lastly, before we call it a day, the Gunners have won all 6 of their London derbies in the league this season, keeping a clean sheet in all 3 away games. They've not won 7 such games in a row since the 2007-2008 campaign, which included home and away victories over Spurs. So it shows you that Arsenal are really chasing history, and history is also in their favor, because this time round, or this season, they've gone ahead to win the derbies in London, because every team that is in London, that's the London derby. Chelsea is in London, Arsenal beat them by 1-0. Crystal Palace is in London, Arsenal beat them by 2-0. Fulham is in London, they beat it by 2-1 at Emirates. Brentford is in London, Arsenal beat them by 3-0. Which other team is in? Is it Bournemouth? So, all the teams they've played that reside in London, they've gone ahead to win them. That gives Arsenal an edge to go out and beat a team called Tottenham Hotspur. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. I'm going to return with the predicted starting 11 of Tottenham Hotspur, but Arsenal need to win this game of football. So my prediction is 3-1 Arsenal. I believe Arsenal is going to win this game by 3-1. It's not going to be an easy one, but I believe Arsenal has all the tools to win against Tottenham Hotspur. That's it. 3-1 in favor of Arsenal. That's my prediction. Though it's not going to be an easy one, but I believe they are going to go past it because they know what they want to go ahead and do. And I think Mikel Arteta has done his maths very well, as they are really trying to bring in Mukalo Modric to be part of the Manchester United game. So your predictions are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David is my name. I hand you over in the mighty hands of the Lord Jesus Christ. Not so? And may him protect you and see to it that you guys are really having what you deserve in life. Thank you. I'm out. Good afternoon. After here, United Matters channel is where you're going to get me. There is the London Derby, and I know all Arsenal fans are really supporting United today. You know, it's very rare to see Arsenal fans supporting Manchester United, but today, Arsenal fans are supporting United for the reason, if United beats Spurs, if United beats Manchester United, if United beats City, and Arsenal wins against Spurs, they'll be 8 points ahead of Spurs, ahead of Man City. That means Arsenal are really ready to go ahead and really know the result of the game they're going to play tomorrow, of the result they require in the game they're going to play tomorrow, because they would have known what United would have put onto the table today. Bye guys. Catch me on United Matters channel. I'm out.